Thank you guys so much. We're going to go ahead and get started today. First of all, we're going to make sure that these 30 minutes are the best 30 minutes you've invested to help get your home. Either you're thinking about selling, if you are already tried to sell and it didn't work out, we're going to give you all the information you need, because here at Watters, it's very important to us that you have the right information. It's very easy to get different types of information from headlines and social media, but every market is different and every market is hyper specific. So thank you for joining us tonight. We're going to give you the top 6 ways to start selling your home in the Texas market. Now, if you could, hi Sherry, great to see you. Thanks for joining us this evening. So if you could give me an emoji, raise your hand. Tell me if you are thinking about selling your home, but you're a little hesitant because of everything you've heard. You can give me an emoji. Okay, thank you, Mario. Fantastic. Now, are you a seller that maybe tried to sell already and it was unsuccessful? Any sellers there? No? Well, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. Well, Mario, thank you so much for your participation. Sarah, Crystal, Mario, Dan, Greg, what we're going to do is we're going to hopefully you're in one of these seller categories that this information is going to be extremely helpful. So let's get the party started because it is a lot of information. Let's go ahead and have a real quick reality check. What is the market doing today? So by the way, my name is Stephanie Perez. I'm the Director of Sales here at Watters International Realty. I've been a real estate agent for over 23 years. I am now retired, so don't worry, not a sales pitch to list with me, but I am now my whole heart and passion is dedicated to educate sellers, because I actually was in a market a lot like this. And this was the 2008 market. Was anyone in that market? Show of hands, a cry face emoji, anything. That 2008 market was pretty devastating for a lot of people. I was able to navigate that market, and I've been in the industry ever since. And I've been able to, and as well as Mr. Watters, we were in this industry and we were able to learn from those industries to be able to help sellers today. So what is the true reality check and what really is going on out there? You are welcome to interact. You are welcome to throw me an emoji if you feel this information is hitting home. There is a lot more inventory. If you're a seller and you have a home where they're still building, throw me an emoji real quick. Let me know. It can get pretty discouraging because they keep building and they keep building and they keep building, and your inventory keeps going up. So what does that mean to you as a seller? Well, it means everything, because now the buyers have plenty to choose from. And I'm going to help walk you through and navigate how to build out, how to at least compete with the builders and have your home stand out. Now, there are longer days on market than average. If some of you are familiar with the market, maybe you sold a home before, you were able to sell it within 30, 60, maybe 90 days. And if you sold a home in 2020 or any time before that, your days on market were a lot less. So what are we experiencing in today's market? Well, being that we are located from San Antonio all the way to Dallas, this is collective data that we're giving you. This is all through Central Texas. Every seller is feeling this pain quite a bit. Longer days on market, very price sensitive buyers, and hyper local swings, where one neighborhood could be doing fantastic with inventory and days on market. They're probably not doing so great with buyers selecting their properties because there are newer properties available. And so we're always finding that your market is hyper specific. So here's some things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how to price it to sell. What are some strategies you need to use? How can you get your home to stand out? How are you going to be able to beat out the builders or even competing inventory in your own neighborhood if it's not builders? How are you going to be able to manage any equity that you have that may be troubled? Maybe you are in a current situation where you bought in 2022 or 23 or just a few years ago, and now you have to move and you're seeing where there may be some equity trouble. Well, we're going to give you some ideas and some solutions for that. We're going to help you if you're looking to buy or sell. We have programs for that. And of course, last but not least, who you hire matters. Now, how's everyone doing? I don't see any sellers on camera, so it's kind of hard for me to see how you're doing. But let me know you're here. Cheryl's here. Sherry, thank you. Crystal, Mario, thank you. I appreciate the emoji. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you, Sarah. All right, let's do this. Number one, we have to price home to sell. Thanks, Greg. We have to price our home to sell. How many of you were part of a market that you could actually put your home on the market and we could test it out? Hey, let's try it here. Oh, I'm sorry, Sarah. We got you. Don't worry. Where you could have sold it and try to figure it out, right? Let's put it up for a little bit more and see what we can negotiate down. Well, unfortunately, my friends, we are not in that type of market. We honestly are not. Let me give you some pricing strategies. The price you set decides everything. So the first 20 days is the most important days of you listing a property. Buyers who are actively looking now, unlike back in my day, they didn't have all these apps. They couldn't just go look at a house over here and get squirrelitis where they got distracted of the next new home. They were pretty much as agents, they were at our discretion. We were understanding what they needed. We would show them the right properties based on our resources. But now buyers have almost the same resources. They're able to view your home online when it comes up. If you selected a good agency that has great marketing, you're going to be elevated and optimized. And if it's priced over from what they've been shopping for already for 6 months, they're just going to kind of pass by your property. Now, when buyers are scrolling, they're now thinking, oh, well, I'll just wait till the price comes down on that house. And if that house doesn't come down, I have about 6 more already saved. And this weekend, we're going to go look at some other ones, and the price is much better than this one. So now we have to understand as sellers, the buyer's decisions. How do they make these decisions? And this is why pricing is so important. The way you price it, market it, and advertise it the first 20 days will elect the pace and the flow of your home. Now, we're going to give you a little Watters secret here. At Watters, we always tell our sellers, if we don't get 1,000 views online, which equal 10 showings in person, and an official offer, we need to make some adjustments quickly. And that's really important. It's very important that you are getting that activity, because you can have the best pictures in the world. You can have all the video. You can do all the social media posts. If your price isn't correct, that is where the buyers will just keep on scrolling. So true data and driven comparables is absolutely needed. Now, I want to give you some encouragement here. If you hire the right professional, they're going to be able to show you what has sold compared to what has active. And at Little Watters, we have a little secret sauce called a market absorption rate report. I'm going to give you that in a second. But that is it's very important for you to understand the sold properties. When you know what has sold, that is what the appraiser is going to use to guarantee and commit the funding for a buyer that may put an offer on your property. But you also have to know what's active, because that's your current competition. So we have it tough today as sellers. We have to price it to appraise, and we have to price it to get buyer attention. So pricing is important. You want to avoid the test high trap, all right? So promise me that you're going to avoid the test high trap. We're not going to test out the market, because if your property is showing more than 30 days on market, the buyers start just targeting your property to see when you're coming down. Or if enough time goes by, like 60 or 90, they're simply just going to come in and you're going to start getting some lowball cash offers, or they're just going to do everything they can to get bottom line price on your property if they haven't already bought a property. So strategic pricing is imperative, and that is the key factor that you need in selling in today's market. Now, what can help you price your home? So with all the information I gave you, I know you guys probably already know this. If I price it too high, buyers won't come. But if I price it too low, what if they negotiate and I don't have anything to close with? Well, that's why your representative that you select, should you select one, is very important. Now, what I want you to do, no matter what you decide to do, is understand what a market absorption rate is. Now, here at Watters, our agents train a bit differently. This is why we're located all over Central Texas. Our agents are taught how to conduct a market absorption rate report. Now, what does that mean for you as a seller? Well, let's say Sarah or Mario or Crystal, they need to know how they can competitively price their property. Now, we don't do guesswork here. We price your property correctly based on data, not feelings. So we're able to go ahead and give you the true data of your property. A market absorption rate report is a 2-year forecast of what your hyper-specific area is doing. Now, it's very different from a CMA. Any agent, anyone who got a license may throw together a CMA. This is very, very different. This is actually 2 years of research, the 2 years prior, to see how many sold, how many expired, what was the average sale price, what was the active properties in the area of inventory, what was the average day on market, and how did those the first 2 years look like compared to today with the interest rates, and now is forecasted based on the inventory what the next 2 years looks like. Let me give you an example. Let's say Dan just says, Stephanie, come and give me a market absorption rate report. I say, okay. I conduct about an hour and a half of research 2 years prior, study his hyper-focus area, come to Dan, and I'm able to tell Dan if his area is appreciating or depreciating for the next 2 years, the percentage of the increase and or decrease, and if now is the best time to sell based on forecast data. Now that was a lot. Does anyone have any questions? And has anyone heard of this report before? Has anyone heard of a market absorption rate report? Mario, Crystal? Mario says no, he has not. I'm so glad we were able to help you. That's actually super important. Sarah has. Fantastic. It's very important to understand the 2-year forecast. Now, why? Well, let's say Sarah puts her house up in Austin, and we did it based on a market absorption rate report. That report is going to tell Sarah if the 2 years from now, if her property will increase and decrease and by what percentage. So if Sarah, if you knew that your home was going to say, worst case scenario, decrease 20% in the next 2 years, and you had to relocate and really wanted a new location within a year, that would help you as a seller make the right decision. So make sure when you're pricing your property, it's not just some thrown together CMA, but a highly thought out data through a market absorption rate report along with the CMA. Does that make sense, everyone? Now, the one thing you don't want to do is ask ChatGPT, how much is my house worth? Remember, it is hyper focus and every single home is special. Can you give me an emoji if your home is special? I got to see emojis, right? Like everyone's home is special. Everybody has put care into it. Everyone has invested in their home. So you have a right and an entitlement to be picky, but we also have to be realistic with today's market. Mario, what is your question, my friend?
Yeah, just for the first time might be what's the difference between market report versus a CMA?
Great question, Mario. Thanks for asking that. A market absorption rate report is a 2-year forecast based on data of 2 years prior of your hyper-focus market. A CMA is a generalization and of the market in your area within 90 days. So there's no forecast with the CMA. It's just kind of what the last activity happened, and there's no forecast data conducted, if that makes sense. So you wouldn't be able to know on a CMA if your area is increasing or decreasing, the months of inventory on market, and how that's going to affect you in the next 2 years if the buyer movement stays the same. Is that helpful?
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. That way you can make a better decision too, Mario. And if it's positive, maybe you hold on to it. If it's negative, which unfortunately 97% of the time we're seeing that it is, then you can make a decision as well. Awesome. So how do we prepare our market to stand out in any market? Well, like I said, we are in a bougie buyer market. They have a selection across the city between new buyers, between new construction, between all kinds of things. Our buyers are now buying on feeling and which one is better than the other. The eeny, miny, mo buyer effect that has happened. Now, how can we stop that eeny, miny, mo with your property? How can you make your property stand out more than others? Well, I can tell you, if you're already asking yourself, should I paint my kids' room? Should I maybe, spruce up the landscaping? The answer is yes. Anything you can do to help improve your property is going to help you get the most for your property. Think about this. You're a buyer. You drive, I'm showing you properties. We go to a property and it's a great area, great location, great neighborhood. We see a property and you're going to have to paint the whole property. You're going to have to replace the floors. And, you want to do the outside to look a little better. It's a little worn. And then we go to, for the exact same price, another property that you just move in. The opportunity between receiving an offer for a move-in ready property is much greater than I have to take as is and do my own repairs. Buyers now just have so much opportunity that they much rather move into a property that has less appearance of wear and tear. So declutter and depersonalize. Less is best. Curb appeal goes a long way. Honestly, just nicely mowed, painted fences, everything goes a really long way. You're going to not only keep them intrigued and interested, but you're going to make them really want to make an offer because it just has the charm that we're going to talk about in a second that maybe a new construction home doesn't have. Now, many of you probably have specializations in your property, and that's going to help us stand out so much. But if you do, paint and carpet goes a long way. Of course, buyers now prefer more flooring options, but that's where we come in as experts to help you get your property done correctly. Now, here's one more thing I suggest for all of my sellers: get a pre-inspection. If you've had your property now for quite some time, it's wonderful. You've maintained it. Your home is where your heart is. We totally understand. But it is good to get a nice pre-inspection done. And here's why. Majority of the deals fall apart or the price is taken down after inspections. In fact, some buyers are banking on it. They're actually like, you know what? Let's give them a list price. And after repairs, I bet you stuff needs to be done. We'll take that price down. So how do we make sure that not only do they walk up to a beautifully manicured property, pressure cleaned, freshly done, nice little landscaping done? Doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't have to be expensive. It just needs to be clean and minimal and look like it's in good condition. Now they come to an inspection time and you already took care of everything that needed to be taken care of in the pre-inspection. Now they can't find anything. You did everything. Now start writing this down. We're going to give you 5 big whammies here. We can do some good stuff, aren't we? You're going to look out for 5 big things. We're going to look out, how is my foundation? How is my roof? How is my HVAC? How's my electric? How's my plumbing? And making sure I don't got any mold or mildew. If I can ask myself those 6 questions and actually know the condition of them, those are the 5 major deal busters. So, highly advised, get yourself a pre-inspection. Just see what's going on in your property. And those 6 major items are super important to make sure your deal doesn't fall apart. And last but not least, buyers fall in love with pictures. So it isn't just about having pictures. It's making sure the property is ready before pictures. Then it's having fantastic photographers who know how to capture your home. Nice dust shots. You want to have, if you have beautiful acreage and a beautiful pool and you sit behind a green belt, you're going to want the dronage. You're going to want a 2D tour. You're going to want a 3D tour. You're going to want to make sure that a buyer sees your home and the first picture, beautiful curb appeal property, they want more. They want to see your property longer. They're giving it to their agent. Hey, we got to go see this house. Look at the price. Look at the front. We got to go. That's what you want to do in today's market to be successful. Do we have any questions so far? How are we doing? Good? Good temperature reading? Fantastic. Thank you, Mario. Thank you, Sarah. Awesome, awesome. So how should you start? Well, here at Watters, we actually give you a free stager. So we have our stagers come out to our sellers who are ready to sell, and they give them advice. If you don't have that, that would be a great step for you. Pinterest. Pinterest is everyone's friend. So if you go on Pinterest and you're seeing these beautiful homes and how clean and manicured and neutral colors is in right now, that's a great way to use resources as well. So first, price it right, because then nothing else matters, okay? 2, get it ready. I also want to let you in on a little secret we do here at Watters. If our sellers do a pre-inspection and actually handle every single thing on that inspection, we actually market it as a pre-inspected property. It really helps the buyers want to go ahead and look at that property because now they're like, oh, it's already been inspected in great condition. Everything's been taken care of. So it gives them more desire to see your home. Everyone doing great? Fantastic. Let's talk about how to beat out the builders and competing inventory. Now, if you can, and you're not driving or anything, give me an emoji if you are surrounded by new construction. Dan, surrounded. I gotcha, my friend. Anyone else? Ashley, definitely surrounded by new construction. So how do we do this? You know, we hear it over and over again. And Nick, I just want to acknowledge my friend here, Nick. He is our seller concierge service representative, and he makes sure all of our sellers are connected with the right agent. And he can definitely tell you, we get a lot of the builders are going crazy. There's so much inventory. They're offering crazy interest rates. How am I ever going to sell my home? We get those calls all the time, and we are able to connect them with the right agent and the right plan. So here's what you can do if you're selling your property or you're thinking about it. How are you ever going to overcome the new build? Well, number one, what do you have they don't got? Think about that for a second. What do you have that they are no longer building or they are not offering? Okay, that's number one. Number two, offering incentives. How do we do that? Now, here at Watters, we help guide our sellers through that. But think about your interest rate. Is it transferable? Did you put in upgrades that the builder doesn't have? All the appliances included, washer, dryer, maybe even upgrading those appliances a little bit so they feel like they're getting newness as well. Freshening up those things, move-in ready. This is why a paint job and flooring and decluttering go a very long way because you're move-in ready. Sometimes the developers, they don't have, unless it's inventory homes, it may take them over a year to move in. So you do have things over the builder, especially if you bought in 2020 and you got that lower interest rate. Check to see if it's transferable. Maybe you have paid off, I'm going to emphasize that, paid off solar panels. Very important for you to say paid off. If they are paid off, it's something that a buyer doesn't have to worry about taking over or you stopping you from selling the home down the line. Because these are characteristics that the builders really can replicate, whether it's upgraded landscaping, added pergolas, whatever that is. Think about all the characteristics you have that the builders don't. Think about incentives you can offer that match the builder, right? So those are the things we can do when we are full. Now, keep your agent's very important. So here we have a strategy that every 20 days we reevaluate what the builders are doing in these properties. And we look to see where we are in comparison in our price point. And we're always doing our best to beat out the builder. We also have a lot of cool marketing techniques. If you're interested, we'd love to talk to you about them. But we have some really cool marketing techniques we use here at Watters to help agents, to help properties stand out from a builder flooded environment. Now, how can you start? Think about what you have: a transferable interest rate, incentives. You're going to add, new appliances. I know it could probably be about $2,000, but then you're getting more showings and getting 10,000 more for your house. So making sure that you can do some things that renew, maintained, lot sizes that builders aren't offering. Really important to do that. Before I move on to my other topic, Dan, was that helpful? Because I know you said, yes, I'm surrounded by builders. Well, I hope it was. I hope it was helpful. What about you, Ashley? You said you were surrounded by builders. Was that helpful?
Yes, definitely.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Now, we're going to get a little serious. We're going to talk about equity troubled properties. Now, you don't have to raise your hand, but if we're talking to you, don't worry. We got a solution for that. Manage equity troubled properties. Now, what does this mean? Owing more than your home is worth isn't the end of the road. Here are some options for you. We actually have seller counselors here at Watters. I am actually one of them, and I am a short sale specialist. And the reason why I'm a short sale specialist is because of the 2008 market. So I was able to successfully help sellers get rid of the property, and they were able to purchase again 2 years down the road, versus a foreclosure that would have affected them within 7 to 10 years, leading some to bankruptcy. So here are some options if you owe more than what it's worth. Number one, understand your real numbers. Please don't guess. Don't throw it in ChatGPT, friends. Don't do it. Just get a real specialist. It costs you absolutely nothing to get a true specialist. I know here at Watters, they're going to come with a lot of numbers, a market absorption rate report. We even offer online counseling, where we'll do a virtual presentation, a virtual meeting with you, and kind of ask you those tough questions and then get you in the right direction. So understand your real numbers, loan modification, and forbearance. So we can also help you once we speak with you and we understand your numbers and your status and everything like that. It's a loan modification. We can help guide you in the right direction for a modification. Forbearance is a thing that the banks are going to do to help you, but not a lot. They're only going to help you a little bit. Remember those corporate banks, they want to make some money, yeah? And so a forbearance will give you some time, but you're still collecting interest and you still have to catch up on payments. So we can help guide you in the right direction. And then you have the mighty short sale option. That short sale option has actually helped. Just recently, we closed 3 a few weeks ago, helped a seller where they didn't know what to do. They were going to go in foreclosures. They called us because we're all over the place, and we were able to get them approved to a short sale. They are completely alleviated from the debt. It is now on their credit as a debt settled, less than owed, and they'll be able to purchase again in 2 years. It was a huge load off their back. So if you have any kind of distressed properties, we also have a wholesale division. They're able to give you cash offers on your property. And just remember that if you do have a distressed property that does need a lot of work, the cash investors can purchase that for you. You don't have to worry about fixing anything, less closing costs, quick closes. But just remember, they are going to factor in how much it's going to take to restore the property. So just be ready for those numbers. Make sure whoever you do decide to utilize has these types of connections. I know at Watters we have a full inside department that does it, and you can get those cash offers. And then you can break down which one is best for you and your options. If you are going through a divorce, if you have inherited an estate, and you are going through the probate process, we have solutions. And so it's very important that if you are in these troubled situations, don't give up. we offer free counseling sessions. We can go ahead and see where our other options are. So how do you start? How do you take this information now after you leave here? Assess where you are with the bank. Be fully transparent. And again, we are going to, if you would like, and you want to schedule a free equity deficiency consultation, our seller concierge, Nick, is going to stay on the line. You are welcome to just go ahead and raise your hand. He can go ahead and pull you offline, and you guys can discuss, and we can go ahead and schedule you for that. If you know anyone in this position, tell them not to give up. There are definitely options the bank's not going to tell them, but we will. So now we got the yucky stuff out of the way. Again, if you are in a distressed position, please reach out to us. Absolutely free. We give you these consultations to help you and guide you in the right direction. Now, is there any sellers on here that are looking to buy a property, but they got to sell first? That's Sarah. Okay. Sarah wants to go ahead and Mario, but they got to sell first. And that's, let me guess, you need the equity to put the down payment. Yes? Okay, I assume so, because that's where most of our sellers come to us about. Well, you have options. We have several programs. Again, Watters has been around for over 15 years, and we have several programs, again, free consultation, that can actually see which one works best for you. So have any of you heard about a bridge financing? Anybody at all? Bridge financing. All right. So for those of you who haven't, this is what happens. First of all, you would need us to go ahead and assess your property and determine market value and what you currently owe and do an equity consultation. That equity, once we understand your equity, we're able to go ahead and present this to several companies that we work with, and they will actually give you up to 80% equity in advance so you can go buy the other home. And the other 20% will be paid out after you buy your home and we sell your primary property, but they're able to give you the money and you go. You buy your home, you're good to go. And then once they sell their property, if there's anything left of the 20% proceeds, you're given a full breakdown. You're also given that portion. By then, you've already moved into your new home, and you were able to do that with our bridge financing. Now, you can do a contingent offer. Now, it has to be structured right, okay? You have to have a really strong professional, but you can do contingent offers. We can list your home, and you can buy your other home contingent on this home selling. And typically, you want to do that when this other home is sold. Now, our other option is called a lease back. The other option is we can list your home. We can have it sold. And while you're waiting for your other home to be prepared, or you're looking to now look for your home, we can negotiate for you to stay in your current property, all the equity, everything's funded for a few months after you close on your property. So then that way you have that time. And we also have, we structure it very, very, very seamlessly here at Watters. You have a listing agent and then you have a buyer's agent. Listing agent focuses on selling your property, and the buyer agent will focus on finding you a property based on the listing agent's terms and understanding your position. So you'll either already have a home, and as soon as you close on that one, you can make an offer and close on the second one and still stay in your property for the month that you're getting into your other home. Does that make sense? Are there any questions so far on these options you have to sell before you buy and buy before you sell? Any questions? I know Mario, and was it Sarah? You two, you're looking to buy, but you need to sell first. These are some of the options that you have.
Yeah, no, I think everything makes sense. I guess the only question I had was if you did like that bridge loan, how much interest is on that loan that you're going to have to be paying back?
Well, ours is actually, you receive all the 80% and there is no interest on that. It's called our Get Paid Twice program. And you're free, the 80%, it's all yours. There's no interest on that. The 20% is whatever's remaining from when they sell the property, which is resell the property. So they release the 80% equity, try to sell the home. That 20%, there's no interest on that. There's no interest in that. They actually take full ownership of the property, and it's their job to sell the property. So if anything's left of that 20%, Sarah, let's say they sell it and there's a 7% profit after that, that goes right to you. It's called our 2-check program.
Okay.
Yes. Now, if you want to do an official financing bridge loan, that's definitely contingent on credit, your debt to income ratio, and we can definitely connect you with a free consultation with our bridge financing program. And then that way you can see which one works better for you, if it's the get paid twice program or the bridge financing.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. The great thing is, Sarah, you have options. I know sometimes it's hard to, which direction should I go? And the great thing is that we're offering all these consultations for free. They are with different divisions because they're specialists in those areas, but you get these consultations for free, and that can help guide you in the right direction. So thank you so much, Sarah. Great question. So how is everyone doing so far? A lot of information. We're almost done. I promised 30 minutes, right? Oh, I didn't make it. Darn. Hang tight. Just a few more minutes, everyone. And I'm a fast talker. I'm surprised. So how do you start? Let's schedule you a program consultation. Let's just get to see what program works for you, see if a cash offer is better for you, see if a get paid twice program is better for you, see if going traditional market pricing aggressively works for you. We are ready to do everything we can to help get you in the right direction. Last but not least, when you are selling a home in Central Texas, you have to choose the right agent. I'm going to tell you, I've been an agent. I'm an agent and I'm licensed in 4 different states. I've been all over the globe. I'm a military brat. My father owned homes in multiple states. And I can tell you, a bad agent, I've experienced it as a child through my father's frustrations. I experienced it myself as a buyer, and I definitely experienced bad agency as a broker and a licensee and interacting with other agents. Not all agents are created equal. So here are some questions you need to ask before you sign anything. Number 1, what's your track record? How many of you sold in this area? I need to know, what do you know about this area? What is the development happening in this area? And just really test the market knowledge. Number 2, what is your actual marketing plan? Now, if they can't get past photos and video and all the sparkly stars, that you need to dig deeper with the agent. Okay, I understand you're going to do the photos. That's great. But what else are you going to do? How are you going to assure that my home sells? So here at Watters, our agents do what's called reverse prospecting. And they have a strategic pricing strategies that they use to keep on top of the market value. They have to snipe into your market every 20 days to get ahead of the market to see what the market's doing. I don't know about your experience, but what we get a lot of, and I'm sure Nick can agree, a lot of sellers call us when they were unsuccessful with the other agent. And the biggest thing we hear is communication and waited way too long to ask me for a price reduction. They just took my listing, they listed it on the MLS, they promised me the moon, the stars, the ocean, the sky, the rainbows, and then I just barely heard from them. Or I didn't get any showings. I didn't know what was going on. Well, they are the expert, and shame on them, and I would like to apologize for any bad agency that you've experienced out there. We take it very serious. I know I do. I hold your home in my hands. It is my responsibility to get you to the next journey in your life. It is my responsibility to get you as much money as possible. So it is very important that you ask these questions before you sign anything. You want to ask how they're going to communicate and how often, and you want them to put it in writing. Yes. And when they communicate, it needs to be true communication, my friends. I would ask them, how do you communicate and what do you communicate? And if it's not targeting into the market and ideas for us to sell our home and updates on online hits, if they're not providing what you need to make better decisions in selling your property, you just say next, because that's very, very important. And last but not least, what is your negotiation approach? How do you negotiate? Multiple offer situations, appraisal gaps, repair negotiations. Let me tell you, agent 23 years, no one has ever asked me that question. Now, luckily, I'm pretty good. But I actually had to put it in my own presentation to let them know I'm going to take care of you. This is how I handle appraisal gaps. This is how I handle multiple offer situations. This is exactly how I handle repair negotiations in this market. Not in a market 5 years ago, not even 2 years ago, in today's market. So you have the power, my friends. You're the seller. You ask these questions. You feel comfortable. You want to make sure the person you're hiring is going to represent you, but also be very honest with you and advise you. Not every agent is created equal. You do have to go ahead and see which one has actually already advised you before you committed to them to be your agent. So here are some things that you need to look for when you are picking a real estate agent. So when should you start interviewing? ASAP. No matter what your plan is, no matter what your time is, you should interview them ASAP, because this is going to actually help you, number one, see the difference in their market evaluations. And number two, if they haven't presented a market absorption rate report, that's a big one. How in the world can they tell you if now is the true time to sell? So challenge them, but interview as soon as possible. It's going to help you have an idea where the market is going. Look at all of your options. So let's do a recap. Before we give away free gifts, I think we're raffling off a free winner here. A free winner was able to get a free VIP session with Mr. Chris Watters himself. He is raffling this off to one of you today to ask him any and every question you have about your home personally and how you can be successful in today's market. So before I announce our winner for today, let's recap everything we've learned. And then we're going to open it up for full Q&A. Number one, pricing is everything. We don't want to test the market. Number two, we want to make sure we have the right market assessment value for our property and get it in the condition to maximize our profits. Number three, we want to make sure that if we are in any type of distress situation, that we know exactly what our options are and we can book a free equity consultation. We want to make sure if we are in a community with lots of builders, what incentives can I offer in this property for it to stand out? What can I do to take advantage of all the drive-by traffic they have? Make sure my signage is great. Make sure I have plenty of open houses and my property is always model ready. Maybe I offer brand new appliances, comes with the property, hot water heater, all the great customization packages that the builders do not have. And last, how do I pick my agent? I ask the right questions, I make sure they can negotiate, and I make sure they bring me a market absorption rate report. Now, does anyone have any questions on our recap before we announce the winner? And we have a free offer for everyone, actually. Does anyone have any questions? Crystal, how you doing? Was it informative?
Yes, I'm good.
Fantastic. Now I am looking here and we had a draw out of all the people who registered, and they do have to be in attendance and they do have to be here to win the time with Christopher Watters. I have here, our first winner is Marcella. Is Marcella on the call? I don't see any. Nope. All right. Sarai. I don't see any of our auto pick ones on the call. Do
The
you?
final winner of who is on the call is Ashley Phillips.
Yes.
Ashley, yeah, congratulations, Ashley. You are going to get a one-on-one with Chris Watters to answer any of your questions. He does not normally connect. Nowadays, he owns the business, so you'll have his dedicated one-on-one time.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. We'll make sure and reach out with you. If you'll hang on the line after this session, we'll connect with you. The other thing is we have a survey for this call today. The link is in the chat. It will also be emailed to you, as well as the recording of the webinar will be posted on our blog. Thank you, Ashley.
Awesome. Thank you, Yvonne, so much. Now, we can't give one gift away, right, Nick? So we are opening it up to every single one of you. You are able, if you are wanting just a free consultation, I believe we're in everyone's service areas, Nick. I hope we are. I heard Dallas, I heard Austin, I heard San Antonio. We can get you an agent to you to present any of this based on your situation. So, Nick, did you want to kind of just let them know what your concierge services are?
Absolutely. I posted the link earlier, but I'm reposting it again right now. If y'all want to just hop onto a quick 15-minute call with one of our concierge reps, they'll kind of talk through your situation, learn a little bit about your goals and a little bit about your property, and then we'll find the best solution for you and connect you with a specialist who can make that happen. So I put it on there. It links to the calendars for the concierge reps, and you are more than welcome to book some time and see what we can put together for you.
Yeah, no pressure, no obligation. The seller concierge service team will actually say, oh, wow, based on your situation, we should definitely talk about these programs. We'll send you an agent that talks about those programs. Or maybe, yeah, you need a chit chat with our wholesale division, and we'll just put you in the right direction. No pressure. It just helps you as a seller in today's really hard market get in the right direction. So we are done with the information portion. This is pure Q&A. You are welcome to ask any questions that you have, and we will guide you in the right direction. The floor is yours, my friends. We have a quiet bunch. Oh, I get it. I just answered them all already. Is that what it is? Is that what happened? Sherry, do you have any questions, my friend? Shane, Crystal, Sarah.
No questions. I think you did a good job. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Sarah. See, I was right. I think I just answered all the questions. We don't have any. Well, we are here to serve. We made a dedicated promise to serve sellers during this really difficult time this year. And so we look forward to hearing from all of you. Again, please feel free to schedule free consultations. Congratulations, Ashley. You're going to get one-on-one with the great one. And so we're here to serve you as well. If you don't have any more questions, my friends, please know that we are here to serve you. We are in every city of San Antonio. We are in Austin. We are in Killeen, Waco Temple. We are in Dallas. We are even in the Great Valley. So we are here to help serve you. And we will hopefully hear from y'all soon. Great. Awesome. Well, y'all have a great night. Thank you again for spending time with us. We hope it was valuable. If you found this, we're going to send you the recording. And if you know a seller that may need to listen to some of these tips, please send it their way. We'd love to help them. If not, y'all have a fantastic evening. Thank you for joining us at our Watters International webinar. Have a great night.